Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
Crash! Oh, they saved it. Wow, I don't know how that wasn't a caution.
We're back here live, and just as we come back, go back and take an instant replay of what happened here. Looked like the 7 of Nick Starling got loose. What happened to him?
Yeah, I mean, it looks...
Just gets loose on his own?
Yeah, he just got loose on the bottom, man. He was on cold tires, actually, so he even extends the looseness there. Luckily, that wasn't a caution, because David Shieldhouse, Ben Baffert, and Yusuf Ghali have just brought it down pit road and tried to over and undercut each other here, but Baffert just brought it in, and Yusuf Ghali, and I'll tell you what, David Shieldhouse really undercut it here. But he's going to have 30 laps to run down AJ Stravato, Jeff Wright, Seth Hatchell, Keith Mayato. I don't know who's going to be able to go all the way on fuel. Most likely Jeff Wright, and as I can tell you, Ben Baffert just exited pit road. He'll be able to get by at least Wright and maybe Bailey Turner here. And I'll tell you what, Turner's been able to hold off Jeff Wright for most of this run here, even though he has 4-lap older tires. And Baffert's going to be aggressive, trying to get through traffic here, trying to get by everybody. But David Shieldhouse has made quite the gap. He's got about a 5-second lead over Ben Baffert, who was his closest competitor.
As this run goes on, the guys that stayed out stretch that run. AJ Stravato is leading that pack. There's the 23 of Baffert going by him now. They should have enough time to come back on that.
Yeah, you got guys on a one-stop strategy and a guys on two-stop strategies is the question. And whose strategy will be able to hold off here? You're going to have to go about 56, 55 laps on fuel here to the end. Looking at Jeff Wright, who's coming up to 20. Actually, Jeff Wright's only going to have to go 52 laps. So we'll see. They actually went 56, 57 laps on their old run. Will they be able to do it this time is the question. Is AJ Stravato, Seth Hatchell, who's on 2-lap fresher tires, are starting to run him down. And right now, David Shieldhouse is 1.3 seconds a lap faster. At this rate, he would catch them, but with inside 10 to go.
Looking at the battle between Bailey Turner and Jeff Wright, these guys nose to tail. Turner's saving it. He's clutching it, going into the corners, trying to save as much fuel as possible. Jeff Wright gave him a break there. He had the inside, but didn't push up the track. This is a points battle, so these guys, I mean,
yeah.
Turner was quiet all race long, and finally gets around Jeff Wright.
But even at this point, it's just not going to be enough to get... He'll keep himself in contention to win the championship next week, but it's going to be by a miracle if it happens here, as Baffert has unlapped himself, same with Ghali and Lakatos, and now Eric Hutton has gone to the first car, 1 lap down, as Casey Lakatos bringing it down pit road here. It's going to be interesting to see what can happen as Seth Hatchell is pressuring AJ Stravato for this lead.
Yeah, it's just been one of those. Still don't have the cameras working, and still don't have a lot of things working. It's been a very unprofessional stream as what we're used to here on VSPEED, but we'll get it working right. Hopefully, whatever the problem is, we can fix the PC or whatever the case may be. It seems like maybe an encoder issue here tonight. Seth Hatchell all over the back bumper now of AJ Stravato for the lead. Looked like he was going to get a run there off of 4, but didn't quite do it.
Doesn't have anything for him right now. He's on his back bumper. He's going to try to loosen him up here. but I think he's got the tire advantage. He should be able to get by here. He'll get a nice run off of 2. He'll look down to the inside. Oh, Stravado tries to block. Just won't be enough. And Seth Hatchell goes down to the inside quarter panel of 33, but 33 is able to drive it in harder and keep that position. And here comes Starling, the lap car. Fresher tires, so these might be another chance here for Seth Hatchell. If he catches Stravado in the wrong spot, Hatchell can pounce.
Back here to David Shieldhouse. 13 seconds separate him and Jeff Wright. He is chasing him down. It's about a second a lap there. 31.7 compared to a 30.3.
His tires will eventually start evening out with the leaders, but he'll still be faster than them. Is he going to be able to run them down and win this race is the question. That I don't know. And he's pulled Baffert about 6 seconds, so we'll see what happens here. I know Shieldhouse, he's been the dominant car all day. He's led the most laps. He's poised to win his 4th race of the season. So we'll see. I remember, you know, he hasn't won, you know, in a couple of races. It's been a while. His last win was at Iowa on race 4. He won.
It's been
Homestead.
10 races.
It's been 10 races, and he won Iowa and he won Homestead. Could have won. You could argue. Oh, and he won Pocono. So yeah, you know, 3 races this season, looking for his 4th win. Jeff Wright has 4. Yusuf Ghali and David Shieldhouse have 3 together here. So far, Shieldhouse poised to win his 4th. As Seth Hatchell able to get underneath the 33 of Stravado and get the lead.
So another lead change here tonight, and it's not going to be accurate, so I won't even bring up the race recap, but I want to say that we've had somewhere around 8-9 lead changes here tonight.
Yeah, I think anywhere from to 9 there is.
Oh, Bailey Turner really loose off of 4. He's got the 55 to his outside of Ronnie Osmer. And contact between Jeff Wright.
No! Jeff Wright into the wall, the 2 leaders. Oh, Wright not happy. He gives the bumper to the back of Bailey Turner. This is the battle for the championship points fight. And the top 2 in points going at it as Jeff Wright has kind of disappeared and he's back, but not happy with Bailey Turner. Wright has some damage.
They both got a little bit of damage from that. The 24 probably in a little bit better shape than Jeff Wright's machine. Jeff is definitely not happy about that.
No, he wasn't giving Bailey Turner a little bumper off of turn number 2 there, but Wright's car definitely hurt now. And David Shieldhouse is going to run up on these 2 when they're battling. How much is it going to hold him up is the question, because remember, Shieldhouse can still, Casey Licata is closing in on the battle as well, but the Shieldhouse still has to get through these guys and run down Seth Hatchell. It's got 9
looking like an eternity
now. Yeah,
looking like an eternity.
17 laps to go.
About 8 seconds to the lead, 5 seconds to Jeff Wright. He's trying to get around the 88 of Eric Hutton right now. If they come off of turn 2, Hutton's going to kind of move up out of the way.
This little bit of traffic is what's hurting Shieldhouse.
So tough to navigate here, but 16 laps to go. Seth Hatchell, your leader. Guys that saved fuel at the beginning of this race. After that caution, they did the math, seeing that they could stretch it out. Seth Hatchell seems to have the race-winning strategy here in the closing laps at Darlington.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job looking for his 2nd win of the season. Both these wins could come late if he's able to hold off a hard-charging David Shieldhouse on about, I'd give it about 20-something lap fresher tires, 22 lap fresher tires. It's going to be a heck of a win for the veteran 2-time champion Seth Hatchell. As Shieldhouse still has some traffic to navigate. He's 6-7 seconds behind, and right now he's trying to get by the 10 of Noah Mikulski, who is, let me see, he's running 11th here. He's got the same tires as Shieldhouse too. He's just a lap down compared to the 20 here, and right now it's kind of holding him up. That last time, he's still a second faster. It's just how much more will he be able to get here, and he's going to remember, the next few guys that he's going to have to pass, they're for position. They're not going to let him go easily.
So if a caution does come out, what does that do? What kind of situation does that create? Because you've got Seth Hatchell, Jeff Wright.
Seth Hatchell in the lead is what it does.
Yeah. It's one of those things that is Shieldhouse is going to blow by him, or does he have to navigate 4 cars that are going to fight him?
Cannot afford a caution. He doesn't want to be involved in the caution, especially getting through that traffic. The problem is, I think you see a lot of guys on fresher tires are running down the lead cars, and they're going to be way faster trying to get their laps back, where I can see there being contact with somebody. It's just going to depend here on what will happen when they get to them. I think Jeff Wright should be good on fuel. It sounds like AJ Stravato's still having to save some fuel in that car, and David
Wright is clutching it too.
Yeah, and even then, if Wright is still clutching it close on fuel, I don't know if Hatchell's going to be able to make it, as Shieldhouse just got by the lap machine of Mikowski, and now he'll be trying to pounce on Jeff Wright here.
AJ Stravato in the second position. 33 car comes off of turn 2. He is 2.5 seconds back from the 8 machine of Seth Hatchell, your leader. Bailey Turner, now look at that. Jeff Wright gets past quickly.
Wow. Right on by Jeff Wright. He'll go. Let's see what will happen here. What will he make quick work of Bailey Turner? 3.8 seconds behind the leader, Seth Hatchell. For David Shieldhouse here. Shieldhouse will charge into the corner, and we'll just see how much better tires he has than Bailey Turner. It won't even really be a fight here. And there goes Shieldhouse down to the inside of the 24, right on by. And up into third goes the 20 car, David Shieldhouse. In the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Chevrolet Camaro, Yusuf Ghali, Ben Bafford tried to undercut Shieldhouse the first run, weren't able to do it. Now they tried Ghali tried the undercut again. Shieldhouse was able to react to it. He got by the overcut by Ben Bafford right now. Just doesn't seem like it's working enough for for Ben Bafford to run down David Shieldhouse unless a caution comes out. And right now, Shieldhouse 3.2 seconds behind your leader, Seth Hatchell, and trying to run down AJ Stravato.
So Stravato definitely going to be under fire here with about 10 to go. Shieldhouse going to be all over the bumper. How long Stravato takes to get around, that could dictate if Seth Hatchell has enough of a lead. It's dwindled down to about 3 seconds now.
Let's see, how much will this hold up Shieldhouse here? It's going to hold him up a little bit. It's going to cost him a little time. And right now, will he be able to get into 3 is the question. I think he will. And now Stravato he's not going to give it up here, though. It's going to hurt Shieldhouse a little bit for time, but Shieldhouse has such better tires. He'll just go right on by the 33 Waste Management Chevrolet. But now it's smooth sailing from here, clean air, no cars between the 8 and the 20. And might I point out, 22 lap older tires on the 20, or the 8 car Seth Hatchell. Now lap traffic going to be a problem for Seth Hatchell as well with Adam Cabot.
Looking at that gap now, dwindled down to 2.8 seconds as they go into 3. And you can hear all these cars, other than David Shieldhouse, they're using the clutch to get through these corners. They're saving fuel. They might not make it anyway.
And the big question is Bailey Turner, Jeff Wright, can they make it on fuel? Bailey Turner has 2 laps more on that tank. Right now, Ben Bafford has some pace. He'll probably be able to get around Jeff Wright and Bailey Turner. Maybe AJ Stravato, I don't know if he'll be able to get around Seth Hatchell in the 8. And 7 laps to go on the board. 2.4 second lead for Seth Hatchell. But David Shieldhouse is kind of falling off a little bit. Hatchell turned a 31.6. He was only a half a second faster.
Yeah, Hatchell might be turning it back up. He was saving fuel. He might have stopped clutching it as long into the corner. So that'll in turn save tires too if you're clutching it back in these corners up longer.
It will. The question is, can Shieldhouse run down Hatchell? They're going to be coming up here with 6 laps to go. Can the 2-time champion pull out the upset on strategy here?
1.8 seconds as they go into turn 1. Seth Hatchell holding that outside line. You can hear him still clutching it as they enter the corner, but he's rolling back into the throttle a little bit sooner than he was at the start of this run. He might be okay. He might be a little bit in the green, so he can afford to do that. But now holding it down into 3 and 4. Another couple tenths come off of that board.
one thing to pass. It's one thing to catch. It's another thing to pass. But Shieldhouse has been the best car. Adam Cabot does a great job getting out of the way of the leader, Seth Hatchell. 5 laps to go in the Throwback 200 here from Darlington. Shieldhouse, the dominant car of the day on an alternate strategy. 22-lap fresher tires than your leader. Cut it down to 1.3. Shieldhouse really starting to drive that car, flirting with the wall off of turn 2.
Complete silence there for the 2 cars in front of him. You can't even hear the engine RPM. Hatchell's definitely going to fall back to the clutches before this race ends. But can Shieldhouse make the pass? Does Hatchell have anything left in the tank to hold off David Shieldhouse? 4 laps to go. Alpha turn 2 now. 1 second dividing the 2-time champion and the 3-time winner this season. Meanwhile, Bailey Turner 1 position ahead of Jeff Wright in the 4th spot. Jeff Wright with a little bit of damage might fall back to Ben Bafford before the end of this race. That could help Bailey have 1 spot, but it might not be enough here.
Heath Mayato has brought it down to pit lane. We'll see what happens here. And he was on the same strategy as his teammate Seth Hatchell, who is leading this race. It's down to 7/10. They're coming to 2 laps to go here at Darlington. Does Hatchell have enough fuel in the tank to hold off the 20th Shieldhouse?
If my teammate's pitting and I'm on the same strategy, it's not looking good for what I have going on. It just depends. 36 might not have been as much of a conservation mode.
There it is. Here we go.
Cabot and Mikowski going at it for the nice spot just behind them, and they got a little
Bravado.
squirrely there.
Grafado has ran out of fuel. He pit 1 lap later than Hatchell. Does Hatchell have enough? 1.5 laps left to go for the VSPEED Chevrolet, but here comes David Shieldhouse.
Into 3 and 4, Hatchell has been saving since he came out green. White flag up in the air as they come off of turn 4. It's less than 4/10 of a second now. Into 1 and 2. Shieldhouse has all but caught the 8.
He's on the attack. Does he have enough fuel? And Seth Hatchell down the backstretch. 1.5 laps to go. Shieldhouse gains. Hatchell runs the bottom. Shieldhouse runs the bottom. They're 3 and 4. The 2-time champion trying to hold on. Is there enough fuel in the tank? Yes, there is. Seth Hatchell steals the win at Darlington.
What an amazing finish for the 8 car. All of his teammates falling apart, running out of fuel, and Seth Hatchell somehow saves enough to edge out David Shieldhouse with the fastest car on the racetrack tonight.
David Shieldhouse did everything he could to get the win, but it wasn't enough. The veteran, the 2-time champion, sputtering across the line. Seth Hatchell gets his 2nd win of the season, showing why he's a 2-time champion in the BTDY Racing League. And Bailey Turner gets a 3rd position. Ben Bafford in 4th. Jeff Wright lost some spots. He went down to 5th. But Seth Hatchell gets another win in the BTDY Racing Series. His 2nd win, and I believe that's his 1st multi-time win season since his championship run 2 seasons ago. And he still has enough to burn it down. How about that for Seth Hatchell? What a race from Darlington.
Congratulations to Seth Hatchell. What an amazing finish. The nerves of steel it takes to save that much fuel and run it that long. He has to be sweating after that.
He definitely has to be, but man, what a race here from Darlington. In a race that seemed like it was just David Shieldhouse's race to lose, goes from a race that he did lose to the 2-time champion Seth Hatchell in the VSPEED Chevrolet Camaro. We'll be right back to talk to your top 3, your winner Seth Hatchell, David Shieldhouse, and Bailey Turner. Stick around for post-race interviews.
Sailor Tower Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the nurturing reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
Throwback 200 back live at Darlington Raceway. We've caught up with your top three. Bailey Turner down here on pit road. And Bailey, man, it was a tight one. You and Jeff Wright got in a little contact. You guys were both saving some fuel, trying to make it to the end, and then the clutch just slid it up the track a little bit. We know that Ben Baffer got between you and Jeff Wright there at the very end of the race. Does this help you in the points a little bit, or do you think that it's just going to be one of those things?
I mean, I don't even know what the point situation is, obviously, with that double points. Maybe that closes it up a little bit, but I mean, first off, apologies to Jeff on the contact. I went back and watched the replay, and there was about a foot of net code on my end, so I don't know if that was, legitimate or not. It didn't really cut us much of a break, but yeah, just unfortunate. I felt like that first run of the race, I worked so hard to try to get around Jeff and just absolutely killed my tires, and got a second opportunity with that caution coming out, and I knew it was going to be close, and tried to save that whole second run. And Jeff certainly didn't cut me any breaks on that run, so I was kind of pissed off, and he was holding me up for quite a bit, so I knew I wasn't going to cut him any breaks. Especially after last week and this stuff, it's like I got to go for it at this point. But yeah, definitely wasn't intentional. Not trying to get in any contact with him. Still trying to race this thing out fair and square, but yeah, just happy to come home with a P3 there. Average running position probably around 9th all day. So glad we could pull a little strategy there and kind of rebound and carry that into next week. Do you guys even know the point situation, or is that TBD?
If my calculations are correct, the Larry Mack calculations, you're going to be down by at least probably more than. What were you down before? Like 50?
Yeah, something like that. 47.
I think you'll be down to like 42-ish, maybe.
Yeah, so pretty much gonna take Jeff, wrecking or something next week, and that's just something Jeff Wright doesn't do. I mean, he's obviously one of the most talented guys in this league, and just super consistent. Even on his bad days, he still runs top 5. So, if I don't want to win the championship with him wrecking, obviously next week, but just still gonna go out there and give it my all. And if things don't work out, obviously Jeff's the guy that deserved it this year. I mean, he's an absolute stud in these cars and a stud on the service. So congrats to him.
Well, Bailey, great finish here tonight. And like you talked about with the strategy, starting back there in 9th, kind of had a quiet race up there until the very end. and that strategy, saving the fuel. It took nerves of steel, man, to put that run together. We watched Seth do it too, and quite a few guys messed up on pit roads. So congrats on a mistake-free race.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, there was definitely a couple mistakes in the beginning, but like I said, glad to rebound. Just want to thank all the guys on the team for, sticking with me and trying to help me out throughout the season. And, you guys on the broadcast, Alec, set up shop whenever that's available. Would love to have that back. And